To understand the current state of China, you have to look at one man. Xi Jinping has consolidated power and centralized control of the Chinese state to a degree not seen since the days of Mao Zedong. But imagine a sudden, unexpected event. Imagine for a moment if, tonight, Xi Jinping were to abruptly pass away. Throughout his tenure, Xi has systematically dismantled rival political factions. He surrounded himself exclusively with loyalists, and crucially, he has never publicly designated a clear successor. The very feature that makes his rule so absolute instantly becomes the system's greatest vulnerability. Without him, a terrifying power vacuum opens up at the helm of a nuclear-armed superpower. In the West, we call him the president. But in China, the presidency is a largely ceremonial, diplomatic role. If the president dies, the constitution dictates that the vice president immediately steps into the position. Executive authority in China isn't a single office. It's actually divided into three distinct pillars: the state, the Communist Party, and the military. The true political power lies in being the general secretary of the Communist Party. And unlike the presidency, there is no automatic constitutional line of succession for this role. Then there is the ultimate hard power, the chairman of the Central Military Commission, the commander of the armed forces. Historically, one leader holds all three titles, but a sudden death means these roles could be split among different individuals, creating a perfect constitutional recipe for an immediate institutional crisis. The task of picking a new leader falls to the Politburo Standing Committee, or PBSC, the absolute highest echelon of the party. Because Xi purged all competing factions, every person in this room derives their current authority directly from their loyalty to him. Without Xi to act as the final arbiter, these elites face a strict binary choice. They either quickly rally behind a single consensus candidate to project stability to the world, or they fracture. And because the stakes are absolute, a terrifying behind-the-scenes scramble for control over the military and the internal security apparatus would begin. While this plays out behind closed doors, the immediate priority on the streets would be absolute social order. The state would deploy the People's Armed Police across major cities like Beijing to preempt any public protests. State media would delay the official announcement to buy time. An immense information blackout would trigger massive censorship across platforms like WeChat and Weibo to prevent organizing, while major state economic initiatives would simply freeze, waiting for directives. So while an invisible political war rages at the very top of the party elite, the visible reality for 1.4 billion citizens is an immediate, tightly controlled lockdown. The impact of this power vacuum wouldn't be contained within China's borders. The uncertainty would trigger immediate, massive drops in global stock markets, particularly in Asia, alongside severe paralysis in international supply chains. Because China is the world's largest consumer of numerous raw materials, global commodity markets would also experience wild, unpredictable fluctuations. But the financial hit is only the first wave. The secondary threat is geopolitical. A transitional leadership in Beijing, desperate to consolidate power, introduces intense volatility into foreign policy. A faction vying for control might choose to adopt a hyper-nationalist stance to forcibly unite the military and the public behind them, rapidly escalating tensions over Taiwan or the South China Sea. This places future U.S. administrations on a perilous diplomatic tightrope. They would have to figure out how to communicate and de-escalate with a newly forming regime whose internal hierarchy is completely unknown. The absolute centralization of authority allows China to execute rapid, long-term policies while Xi Jinping is alive. But that exact structure guarantees severe, systemic instability the moment he is gone, leaving the entire global order waiting on an untested succession process.